UrbanNoir podcast.
Hello.
Hey everybody, welcome to UrbanNoir Radio.
Hi guys, David here.
I guess you could say, please don't do that. Like, God, like, cause and David's got to hear this shit, and he's gonna be like, wow, first episode they do like complete assholes to me. So, but yeah, I'm Harvey, one of the screenwriters and directors. Hi guys.
I am Johnny. I am multiple things.
Assistant director and
Assistant director,
story
writer,
developer,
story developer,
Oh, yeah.
editor,
And
mastermind.
I am Michael, the guy who sits here and writes sometimes, and I'm gonna be doing some audio.
Michael's a new person on board. We need more people, and he is actually quite capable.
we actually have Scotty Prack, his our resident Asian man who handles all our sound equipment and stuff. So
He's assigned to sit it out this one time around.
I'm back here.
so
We'll include you. Don't worry.
our first episode, gentlemen, ripping Disney apart.
We could do that.
Should we do that?
We should probably do that.
I mean,
Yeah.
because it just seems to be this, you know.
Well, we could rip Disney apart along with ripping apart absurd fan movements.
Yeah, I think it's enough time to pretty much cover, both of those, because recently, probably just start with the fan movements. We've been having some issues on Facebook.
Have you noticed? It's always Facebook. It seems to be just.
It's not Twitter.
No.
It's not even fucking Instagram, where it's nothing but pictures. It's
Twitter's the exception because you don't even have enough space to write out some absurd thing concerning a
Can
character.
you guys give me an idea of what you mean by fan movement on Facebook?
Should we just outright say
the
it?
fangirl movement. If
Disney?
you log into Facebook and there's just big ass picture of Tom Hiddleston, and you scroll down, there's another picture of Tom Hiddleston as fucking Doctor Who,
Yeah.
and then there's Tom Hiddleston in tap dancing shoes. That's a fucking fan movement.
The mere fact that it's transitioning to the point
Yeah.
where they have to
He's
Photoshop
crossing
shit.
genres.
Yeah.
It's to the point where Tom Hiddleston is Martin Luther King.
Oh,
that's
God.
that's how bad it is.
Well, people love media. People get infatuated with these characters.
There's a
They
clear
wanna share
limit
that
though.
Yeah.
with other people. Why should there be a limit?
But that's the thing. I don't have an issue with it. Because come on, if you like comic books or you supernatural, whatever. of
We
course
all lose our shit over things.
right.
That's a given.
But this is a obsession to the point. That's my only issue, because all girls like what they like, and they're always gonna have that one guy that he's dreamy or whatever. But when it's to the point where there's a fan book page, or a fan page, and it's called I can't find a quality man because my standards are too high, I blame Tom Hiddleston. That's literally the fucking name of the page.
That's way too specific.
Right, it's just are you seriously gonna blame an actor?
The mere fact that was that specific leads me to believe that page actually exists.
It is. It does exist.
Oh my.
That's not just for the sake of entertainment on this show. That's
Wow.
fucking real.
Scared.
I was on the website last night, and Danny's girlfriend, Carla.
They're not.
We're not name dropping, but the couple.
Yes, the couple. The couple.
There's a page. It's
His object of infatuation.
my standards are too high. I can't get a boyfriend. I blame Tom Hiddleston. Like this page. I'm like, what? Is this spam or?
I don't blame the actor.
He's
He's just doing his thing.
Now, granted, he's getting to the point where I've seen him so much where it's I could do without seeing him.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't, blame the fucking guy. He's not a bad actor, to be honest. In stuff outside of Thor and Avengers, he's actually pretty good. But at what point do you just hit that rut where it's because it's just they make fun of us, when we like an actress or whatnot. It's fucking Betty Page everywhere, or it's Christina Hendricks, and it's, every time I look on there.
Or how majority of guys when every dude was when Transformers first came out and all the dudes were losing their shit over Megan Fox.
Exactly.
Now Avengers come out, everyone's losing their shit over Scarlett Johansson.
Right.
As Black Widow and stuff. But then the dude's oh damn, But then
it's just because all you need is one page if you're a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Load that fucking page with a shit ton of fucking pictures.
The mere fact that I saw this one page I saw this one page that like said something about like Hiddleston's army or something like that. Like, this ain't good, guys. They're mobilizing. We're in trouble.
Wow.
I don't know. You have an option as a Facebook user to not see that content. You don't have to like the page.
No.
It's not what we don't like the page. The mere fact that it's like it's shared constantly.
Is it?
Yes, it's not even a matter of
that's
we
the
like
issue.
the page.
It's to the point it's spammed almost.
It is spammed. It is shared from the page.
I got unfriended because
to
of
our.
that.
Yes,
I laughed at that. I was just like, wasn't no hard feelings, but I was like,
wow.
did she really unfriend me?
He made one thing denouncing just the mere fact that it's annoying, because now it's like...
Because it wasn't even so much of bashing the guy.
Right. Like,
it was just like, please stop filling my news feed with Tom Hiddleston.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not the matter of we're going to the page and like, oh, fuck this. No, it's not that at all. It's a matter of, it's like, oh, like, let's hop on Facebook to make sure that, Scott, Harvey, or David didn't message me to see if, we have something planned in terms of filming or doing at least some kind of work. And I load up Facebook. And of course, the default thing, like the news feed pops up. And I just see at least like 30 different posts all detailing and relating to Tom effing Hiddleston. And it's like, holy shit, where is this from? Hiddleston's army. That's scary. What's this? Oh, like just all these fan pages. Now, it's one thing.
Who's sharing that to make it pop up on your news
It's only
feed?
girls, really, to be perfectly honest. And not to be on gender bashing. But, that's the demographic that goes after him. Like, he's honestly selling tickets off female audiences right now. So,
I mean, like, I appreciate, I respect him as an actor.
I do too. Like,
but I'm not about to like just, lose my shit over him.
That's the thing. But
and you don't want to unfriend people like that because it's like, oh wow, that guy's a dick. He unfriended me because
plus you have
I
to
said
wonder
that.
this too. Like, does that have a lot to do with Disney?
Probably
Because if the budget is bigger, they have
Probably.
more. Avenues, and they have more channels they can get the message.
Of course, like
through,
I mean, now like what it comes down to is like he just dangled in front of them.
Yeah, now it's just to the point like, well, we have $1 million, so we could just write out, well, let's market Tom a little bit more. Because like it's to the point I'm watching like flipping through the Disney Channel, I'm like, oh, fucking Wendy Wu is on or whatever, and the next thing you know, it's like,
whoa, wait, Wendy Wu. Okay, hang on, Wendy Wu,
Homecoming Warrior.
That sounds incredibly racist,
Bigoted,
stereotypical, hateful, probably. What the hell is Wendy Wu?
Homecoming Warrior.
What is this?
Homecoming Warrior. She's a warrior for Homecoming.
Most stereotypical Asian movie that figures out.
Well, there you go.
So this is the chick from...
You can see Scott fuming in the
Sweet
background.
Life of Zack and Cody.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior.
And she's...
Elaborate, Harvey, because I'm not sure how to process this title of a Disney Channel made-for-TV movie that you just threw out there.
I don't know, per se, what exactly, this storyline is, because I saw glimpses of it, and I'm just kind of like, okay, Asian girl living in California, well-to-do family, advertising executive for a dad.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Right.
It's better than being the stereotypical, we live in a high-rise building in Tokyo, and
right.
Daddy's like stern, and
you're right.
I can't do it. Dad's pretty westernized.
Yeah.
But then, segues into this like storyline in not the Middle East, but like fucking Asia.
Mm-hmm.
A huge Buddhist monk temple, and they're, doing flips, and because monks don't just pray. When they wake up in the morning, they do somersaults. And it's just like, and I'm just kind of like, all right, I've seen martial arts movies. I can ignore stereotype or two,
Right.
Yeah.
But then when they start flying and shit, and I'm just kind of like, okay, they just like, it's not even so much martial arts because it's the fucking Disney Channel, so they can't really get to.
Yeah, they're not about to like bust out Bruce Lee or something. Wendy Wu is not about to like challenge Chuck Norris.
It's not going to be Enter the Dragon. It's going to be Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior. So all the martial arts is damn near a dance. So I feel like I'm like getting a full capoeira experience, and people are breakdancing next to each other and throwing kicks and flying, and when they hit the ground, the little dust comes up, and because the impact is so soft when they hit the ground. I feel like it was almost like a Tempur-Pedic commercial, because when he hits the ground, it's just like
foof,
like that's that's all it is. So. That's my issue. It just goes into this huge mystical storyline.
Dude.
It's not even really a fucking storyline. It's
I
exploitation.
I have a problem with Disney thinking that Asian people can naturally fly. Let's just think about that real quick.
I don't blame that on them. I blame that on
I blame that on Disney.
I blame that on what's the guy's name? Ang Lee.
Fair enough.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yep.
Running
House
in
of
the
Flying
fucking-
House of Flying Daggers.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. There was always wire food because that's what it's called. Like,
Yeah.
But Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon brought that style really to the States for a huge audience. Got nominated for all those Academy Awards, and then next thing you know, it like people running through the trees just like this.
Yeah, but
and I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Like,
Like, would you say that was done in respect to like a cultural aspect, or would you say that was just done for the, just for
well,
like the sake of action? Like,
the
what would you
movie
say?
is awesome.
Yeah, I'd like. I'm not
Yeah.
bashing the movie, but I'm wondering like,
So-
was that done in a respectful manner?
With Wendy Wu.
No, like in Crouching Tiger, like when they like the in quotes wire fu when that was brought about.
Oh, it was definitely done in a respectful manner.
See,
Nothing
that-
about that movie is exploitation.
See,
It's-
whereas Disney, on the other hand,
well, and that's the interesting thing about Disney because you can't like outright call that exploit. I would call it exploitation for the general fact that you have an Asian girl in the United States
who
and-
suddenly whisked off to the Far East to a temple.
No, she's not even like. It's just that she's already a warrior. Her ancestor. She's like the reincarnation of some shit.
Oh my god!
But my issue
Got
is
the
just that
last
she's-
Airbender over
Right,
here.
she's already here, and then this guy comes here speaking broken English on top of it. You are the. I'm like, is he taking a deep breath between every fucking vowel? Like, and then when the big reveal comes, it's like she's this like ancestor or the predecessor or successor to this great warrior.
Mhm.
So I'm like, not only do you put an Asian there, assume she can already fight, because before she even knew she could fight, she just randomly did shit. There's a scene where she's playing a game of soccer, and they're like, kick the goal, and she jumps in the fucking air and spins like that, and then kicks the ball and
Yeah,
just
'cause
damn
you-
near kills
you-
the goalie. I'm like,
You totally do that like in a subconscious manner.
and no one is like at the sidelines freaking out.
Like, oh, she does that every day.
Everybody's like, oh shit, wow, did you?
She's
Oh my
Asian.
God.
That's normal.
She did it. She did it. No, I'm like, what the
Accept
fuck
that.
is this shit? I'm like, so I don't know. And it gets worse. Like they had a bumper one time, and a bumper is like what comes on between the commercial and the TV show, and it
Oh,
tells you
God.
after these messages will be
Yeah.
right back. So it's this extended bumper which acts as an advertisement for all the stuff they've got coming on in 2014,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a fucking llama,
All right.
a fucking llama.
All right.
With a huge gold dollar bill chain and a fucking like tacky ass green hoodie, a fucking like, and you can Google this shit. This shit is not easily fucking like made up. He has a fucking like green hoodie on, a baseball cap turned to the right, and he's talking about how he's gonna spit these flows about
Oh
the
my
next.
god.
And I'm like, are you all really just, like, cause you don't
Yeah.
want to nitpick shit. But Disney is like the king of hidden and blatant
Oh yeah.
stereotypes.
Oh yeah.
Like, I didn't even know in the fucking Lion King, there's a Nazi walk in the Lion King.
Yeah. When Scar was presiding over all of them.
And they just, cha, cha, cha.
Yeah.
Cha. And I'm sitting here at work like,
Oh my.
what? Like, it's bad, man. Like, I don't really rip Disney movies apart because usually they make quality stuff. Even the bad stuff is pretty quality.
Yeah.
But
Like when it comes to their
The
TV
Disney
shows,
Channel.
they just do not give
Pure
any.
Factory.
Yeah.
Pure Factory shit.
Yeah.
What is it like? Dog with a blog?
Wow.
That's a thing.
Yeah. That's a fucking thing. You can Google all this shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Scott, see if you can pull up any of this stuff.
Dog with a blog is
I wanna
about
see
a
that
talking
llama
dog with a
thing.
blog.
Wait, dog with the blog?
Dog with a blog.
No, look at that llama first.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What is it? What is
Rapping llama.
Disney Channel.
Disney
Just
Channel.
just to make it more specific.
So this dog goes onto the internet to write blogs
I
about
do
his
believe
daily
so.
life.
Or his experiences with shit.
See, because Disney's trying to relate to children now,
Mhm.
and like,
Yeah, they've got to be hip. They've got to be tech.
yes, they have to be
Tech
hip.
savvy.
That's what it is. That's the lingo of the kids nowadays. They have to be hip.
Kids have always been hip.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, kids are the hip ones. It's the adults that have to play catch up.
Exactly.
Unless
and the
you
mere
are-
fact that
Unless
Disney
you
is trying
already
to
work in the business and the industry that's trying to trend it,
Right.
and you already technically you are the foundation of hip.
right.
Kids are the foundation of hip, and
Right.
then they moving on to the parents.
Mm.
But
Dog with the blog, yeah, because like everyone who's like 10 and over has a goddamn blog now.
well, that's actually sad but true though.
Mhm.
just the internet association.
Yeah.
I think that.
And plus, and Disney is just real slick. Like, there it is.
My God, that is it.
That is it.
I thought it was going to be like a cartoon
No,
or something, but
that's like a
it's
cutout.
a legitimate photoshopped
Cutout.
actual llama.
With what is that? A snapback?
I'm unfortunately it
That-
might be
that
with the
looks like
fur around the hoodie
Fur
and
around the hoodie and a
A giant
chain that
ass gold
says
chain.
XD.
well, the crazy thing is this, and that's what getting into like social perspective. At one point, does this just become a mere projection of culture? And when does it actually just become offensive?
I think because it's Disney, people look at it in terms of how people tend to forget that Disney is still a business, and they view Disney as a whole as
I
being
agree.
innocent.
Right.
So they could put something up there that's so blatantly racist.
Well, they
And
have.
I'm pretty.
like,
oh yeah, they have.
yeah.
I mean, the Jungle Book.
I never looked at it that way. Yeah, but
Jungle Book. When Mowgli was chilling with the orangutans.
oh Jesus, yeah. Like,
Song of the South.
oh
Yeah.
fuck, and that just when I see that shit, it's because you're black. I'm like, no, it's how fucking sick are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
But
have
see,
this happy
exactly.
black man.
Exactly.
Zippity-doo-dah. I'm like, no, what the fuck? Like,
But see, it's because that just goes to prove my point. Like, if you try and call that, it's like, oh, it's because you're black, But then, like,
I'm happy to be a slave. I'm very happy. That's pretty much what I got out of that whole thing. He's
Yeah.
walking, there's a bluebird around him,
Yeah.
and he's just like, captivity. Yeah, like that's all. That's what I got about it, and I'm just kind of like,
I mean, that just goes to prove my point. Then, like, most people look at Disney, and it's like, oh, innocent because it's Disney. Oh, Disney doing slavery. Yeah, they're probably gonna sing and dance and shit. But like, you call that, I was like, oh, it's because you're black. It instantly loses all credibility right there. If you try to take on Disney, it just comes down to the point that everyone views it as being innocent. And there's no way around it. So I think they could like erase the lines of absurdity and then like redraw them wherever they want it to be. I honestly think Disney could do that. Everyone would just turn a blind eye because it's Disney.
I don't even know what the fuck to think of it, honestly. Honestly, at one of the point where, it's become such a brand staple of them
Mm-hmm.
because they're like one of the kings of fucking sneaking shit in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes they're the kings of saying, fuck it. Just throw it there and people take it for what it is. The
Song of the South.
Fucking Dumbo. What the fuck do you think those black birds are
Yeah.
supposed to be playing into? Like a friend of mine, like, I don't really understand what they. I'm like, you fuck you. Look at him. Like, I'm sitting there really like Stevie Wonder knows what the fuck those are supposed to be. One of them's name is Jim Crow. I'm like, oh my God. And they're like once stringing a banjo and jive talking and shit.
Yep.
And I'm just kind of like, okay, I get it, Walt. you're a racist. I get it. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I can even tolerate that in a masterful sense because that's their cinematic shit.
Mm-hmm.
But the Disney Channel, it's not even so much like the bigoted aspect. You can completely just change the topic and just look at the quality of the programming. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Like that, it's PC as fuck. They've got one show where the black kids are living in an attic.
Wow.
And they're ghosts.
They're ghosts?
That's okay. Nudge, nudge. They're ghosts, but keep in mind they're black ghosts living in an attic. And like my sister, she made up this thing, and she was just kind of like, okay, well, isn't it kind of fucked up that that's their house that they're haunting, and they're confined to the attic? And then when the white kids come in the house, like, oh, what are you doing up here? Well, we haunt this house in the fucking attic. Well, if that's the case, just trap them up there and just live there. Like, no one go in the attic. They didn't even give them the supernatural power to, like, leave the attic. Like,
wow.
I'm a ghost, I fall through the floor. We reside here. We haunt this bitch. No, you don't. Like, you're in the attic. But it gets into that, that concept. Is it racist? Is it, humorous? Is it just like an interesting taste? Because, technically a ghost can walk all through the house.
Mm-hmm.
Is it interesting to confine that ghost just to one room? But then when you throw a black person in there, the first thing coming to mind, well, why the black ghost got to be trapped in the attic?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because people nitpick at everything. Like, a bunch of Asians fighting. Well, a better example, Resident Evil. They had Chris in Africa fighting 1,000 black zombies. And not one black person I knew screamed racism. It was only white screaming racism. Racism, racism. You ain't shooting the black people. They're fucking zombies. I'm sitting here rooting for them. Shoot the fucker. He's a zombie. He's black as hell. Kill his ass. But then they're like, okay, well, what do we do to off throw this, like, you know, these racial sensibilities?
Mm-hmm.
They throw in a racially ambiguous girl.
Shriva.
Yeah, that's how she got there. I don't even know what isn't she like Hindu or some shit?
No, man. Her last
She's
name
like
is Alamar or something.
half and half.
So she's Middle Eastern then.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're like, okay, well, it's okay if he shoots him. There's an Arabic girl next to him. It's fucked up, man. It's just like, I don't know. And that's what Disney is good at. Disney has found a way. Because I hate playing that race card shit. Because I feel like everybody is like entitled to their opinion. But bigotry is just like a cheapskate for actually breaking down the complexity of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But they have found a way to pretty much say, we know these stereotypes exist. They're not funny. Well, watch when we do it.
Yep.
That's
Well, because they know their audience. They know, like, ignorance sells.
Yeah, it's ignorance and sex sells probably better than anything.
Yep.
There's a reason why we have a VH1 channel. And Flavor Flav saved VH1.
Yep.
Not Chuck D in Public Enemy. The politically accurate man. Fucking Flavor Flav saved VH1.
Dear God.
So, yeah, but it's one of those things where you just kind of say, the fuck am I watching?
Mm-hmm.
And if you hate it so much, stop supporting it. Like, after I saw Wendy Wu, I'm like, I'm not watching Disney Channel again.
No.
Like, if they wanted to make a cool Middle Eastern, not Middle Eastern, but an Asian flick, and they could have had fucking karate in it. I don't give a fuck. But the fact is, don't make it so blatant. Like, the advertisement is a picture of her, and you know who she is. She's the girl from, like, Zack and Cody.
Life, yeah.
Brenda Song?
Yeah, and she's like flying in the air in the advertisement, and I'm like, okay, first of all, so it's Brenda Song. Oh, they finally got her. That's what I said. Like, that's what I said when I saw it, and I'm just kind of like, okay, that's just as bad as, you know, grabbing Morgan Freeman and saying like, you know what, we need a head like house slave.
What about Django with what's his name?
Well, that's irony. I don't even consider that bigoted because look at how they presented the house slave in that. I can't even remember his name.
He was played by Samuel L., wasn't he?
Yeah, he was played by Samuel L. Jackson, but look who they made him look like. Uncle Ben.
Ah.
So at one point, it's almost satire. And then you can't even get, like, pissed off at that character because Tarantino, like, people talked about how racist that movie is. Django got his revenge against all those white people.
Yep.
It wasn't a bunch of, you know, white people, you know, nigger, 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 and then, you know, oh, no happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fucking film where they oppressed him. He learned to read and write. He got better clothes. Got the girl in the end, his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Killed everybody that did him wrong. And rode off into the moonlight on a horse.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. But
We've
it's
all
just like,
seen it.
yeah, and I'm just kind of like, at one point, do you say like, oh, that's like I heard a bunch of people, that's a racist movie. Samuel L. Jackson looked like Uncle Ben for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's to knock the fact that Uncle Ben, that name alone, and you see him when you go buy that rice, it kind of makes you say, look at that motherfucker. That's what it says. And he comes out the house, and the fact that they wrote the character to talk shit to Leonardo DiCaprio. He was smarter than Leonardo DiCaprio. He told him, come in the house. Like, them two boys ain't who they said they is. They didn't have him sitting there like, oh, you know, what we gonna do, boss? Like, no, he was pretty much telling them they know that girl.
Mm-hmm.
DiCaprio was too busy in over his head having a good time, and, you know, Christopher Waltz is there, Schultz. But they let a house slave, not a light skinned one like social standards, a fucking black house slave tell a white slave master something's not right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't consider that racism. I don't consider that exploitation.
No.
I consider that one part satire, one part intellectual property. Because then it makes you kind of see, like, weren't there slaves that were just actually smarter than their slave masters?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what I mean with Disney. Like,
See, if anything, it just causes you to think, you know, like actually
It makes you
process
think
that
deeper.
information. And, you know, like, I mean, that's just Tarantino, though.
right.
Like, let's be honest, he knows what he's doing. He doesn't need to validate anything. I mean, it's Tarantino. You know, you don't need to question him or anything because, you know, once again, it's him. Like, you know, you come to the Disney Channel and like the mere fact that they're in it just for purely money, the heart and soul is gone. Or you
Totally.
got a question: was it ever there to begin with?
Well, it's just one of those things where you have to look at it for what it is. Like, you know, and I guess that's a poor comparison on my part to compare, you know, Tarantino's satire with Disney's exploitation. But my thing is, I would have to, because Tarantino has taken two things that could easily have gone just completely offensive. He took slavery and turned it into a fucking spaghetti western.
Mm-hmm.
And that genre in itself is a racist name, spaghetti western. Because spaghetti western is pretty much, you're calling it an Italian film.
Mm-hmm.
So you're pretty much just blatantly putting these people with pasta. Granted, their culture is defined by their pasta or whatnot. But still, there's other, you know, cultural aspects. The proper term is known as the anti-western. Because, you know, westerns are romanticized. You know, gunslinger gets girl, shoot bad guys, kill bank robbers, save the stagecoach train, kiss in the sunset right off the end. That's a romanticized, westernized western. But the anti-western is Unforgiven, 3:10 to Yuma, Soldier Blue, fucking, what was the one that just came, Django, if you will, because it's brutal. It's a western, but it's still a slavery biopic at the same time, almost. Like, you know, fictional, granted, but still. So, you know, that's what I mean with Disney. They can have Wendy Wu, but why make it so blatantly, like, to the point where now when a little kid sees it, it's like, oh, you know, I'm expecting an Asian girl in my class to play soccer to do a 1080 in there and then kick a soccer ball.
Kindergarten, little kid goes up to like the Asian girl in the classroom. Do you fly?
I'm done.
You know, they did that to me in like 4th grade.
Listen, what the fuck more do you want?
They asked
Wow.
you if you could fly.
Yeah. And like,
Wow.
I
in
didn't know that.
my senior year, like, she was a sub for my psychology class, and like one of the black kids, you know how they they talk a lot of shit at Bogan.
Yeah.
So then she liked me, so she defended me, but she has the nerve to say, "Hey, watch it. Scotty's the kung fu master. He gonna kick y'all ass."
Are you kidding me?
No,
Wow.
I shit you not, dude. So I'm just sitting there going like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?"
Well, while we're on the air and I'm having some phone issues, but you know, just analyze, like I said, all the multiple things from it. Like, imagine if Wendy Wu had just pretty much been completely rewritten with, like, within the context of, well, we want to do an Asian martial arts flick for kids, which is
That could easily be done.
It's called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Exactly.
That's the sad part.
It's
like,
been done.
Granted, you know, they have a couple of swear words in the original, damn and hell, which is by today's means are just completely like candy and corn.
Yeah,
and
right,
shit.
dude. Like, people get creative nowadays with their cussing.
They're calling people snatch napkins now and shit. So, you know, when I look at Wendy Wu and like you've got a kid pretty much like shuffling across a football field with a monk outfit on, like, you are the chosen one, and I'm just kind of like, what are you doing right now? Like, make an Asian movie where, yeah, she's westernized. Yeah, she's you know, I don't like the whole descendant of anything type shit unless it's done properly, because then it gets really hokey really fast.
Yeah.
But just make it where, you know, he's a monk and he's been sent to the West for some odd reason to possibly find a savior.
Right. And have him actually speak like a normal person.
Please, like, let him speak between
You are the
Mandarin
one. Yeah.
and let him speak between English, not broken English.
Yeah.
Not, let's take a deep
Oh,
breath.
Michael, you are the one that was chosen to whatever, you know? Not, Michael, you are the chosen one.
Hawan.
Hawan. What?
Yeah, my dad's gonna come here and be all like, "What the fuck?"
You need to come back to the temple, and we will train you.
Jesus.
I'm
You
just
will-
kind of like, you know,
You
what?
will save homecoming. And ensure freedom for our people.
I want to see a movie where a descendant from Africa comes back and comes to a young black teenager and asks him to save hip hop.
I mean, hey,
Lil Wayne's the boss fight at the end.
could you just imagine that, though? I can honestly, genuinely see that happen to Disney.
That could be No, see, if done right, that could be effing hilarious
could
and
be
be
a-
satire.
But it could be like a holiday movie, Hip Hop Kwanzaa. Like, could you just imagine that shit? Just, you know, You know, Tawange is from a part of Nigeria that many people didn't know about. But little did he know he was going to the West. All the way to the West Coast. And they just plant him in Compton.
Yeah.
And hey, homie, what's with them clothes? You know, and just, you know.
Oh, they are. What?
And he's like, no, please do not rob me. I'm here for the drugs and want to save the hip hop. And we're just like, you know, I don't know. Like, it'll get worse, man. Like Mexican Heritage Month, you know, Jose Gonzalez and the Colorful Blanket.
Right.
That's the name of it. The Colorful Blanket shall grant you powers.
He's got to save the Day of the Dead.
The mighty sombrero.
Oh, God.
Jeez.
Just make it
Like,
sound
that's
like
his source of power?
Nah, he just puts it on the like, it's just, you know, you could do this shit all day. Like Code Canada.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It's about a hockey player who, you know, lost his pride.
Yep.
But a magical snow restores his faith.
Wow.
Starring Drake. You know, it's like, just imagine it.
Like the snowman's melting, Drake's just in there crying and shit. The whole movie is just nothing but Drake crying.
That's just Drake in general.
Exactly, right?
It just shows how generic and interchangeable that movie was.
It just goes to show like how a lot of shit that's meant for kids now is generic and interchangeable. The mere fact that Wendy Wu is being marketed to children is frightening, and then they wonder why no one can get along. It's because you're fucking up the kids with racism.
Well, you really are, and the thing, and it's not just that. Like it's Disney. It's all their subsidiaries that they have because Disney is full of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fucking ABC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, ABC isn't really helpful. ABC is almost to the point where it's just got like, you know, yeah, I watch Modern Family. But, you know, what other shows of ethnicity do they have? Sofia Vergara is this, like, completely exceeded all expectations of being an actress. Now she's just a fucking stereotype. She speaks broken English on there. And it's cute because she's Cuban. No, it's fucking not. It's like...
It's that innocent factor that like
that's what it is.
It's done out in the open, but nobody pays attention because it's ABC, it's Disney, Disney's ABC.
Right.
You know, it doesn't matter how blatant it is because it's them. People just turn a blind eye because it's Disney. It's cute when they do it.
Right.
But then like watch somebody try and do that in like a movie that's actually meaningful, actually has a lot of artistic integrity in it.
Right.
And that movie is torn apart by critics for being racist.
Well, and not just that, it's racist, it's classes, which is a word that people don't probably like use enough because now, like, there's this huge war against poverty. Like, look at our programming that we have. How many rich people do we need on one show now?
Right.
Like, look at the CW. The CW is just full of all the same people. All the black people look alike, all the white people look alike. They said, like, we're going to cast literally the same person for every show, goddammit. They were like, bring in 6 people. Take a picture. Now, you see these people? I want you to go find the exact same people because we've got a new show coming on. That's all it is. So, you know, like, and Disney's no better. So, what do you make of it?
Just say it as it is.
Like, what are you going to, like, the only thing you can do about it, which no one is going to do, no one's going to rebel against Disney.
You can't.
It's literally you fucking buy Marvel. Like, it's literally like I'll just go in the store and buy the new magazine. That's how they pretty much bought Marvel.
Bought LucasArts.
Bought LucasArts, so they own Star Wars, and now they're fucking over there. Well, LucasArts technically, doesn't it have a hand in Indiana Jones too, right?
Oh, God. Yep.
You know, at one point, like, hey, there's a reason why people still gravitate towards Warner Brothers and DC. Because they still own all this stuff and they try to do it in-house. That's why it's taking them so long. Because Disney kind of said, like, you know, just like shuffling the deck and shit and giving everybody a hand. Fox, you get all the mutants, the X-Men franchise, Fantastic Four. Paramount, you get these guys, and Disney, well, will own the big guns. And they, you know, like the Avengers. But with DC, they're kind of playing it safe. We finally got a quality Superman movie. And now Batman's in this one, even though it got pushed back. But Disney is like, you know, fuck it, we own the world, we do what we want. So that's why the stereotypes run deep. When you've got that much clout, and you got that much, like, accessibility, who the fuck is going to stand up to you?
You know, I bet you that, like, when people hear this, like, we'll be either depicted as racist or self-hating.
You know what?
I'm calling it now.
Call it what it is. I'm not a fan of
Mike, because, you know, look at him. He's white. He's going to be viewed as a racist. And you're going to be viewed as a self-hating black guy, and I'm going to be viewed as a self-hating Mexican.
I mean, like, I don't like Black History Month. I'd be the first person to say this shit. It makes no sense.
Did you know a Mexican History Month actually existed?
I'm pretty sure it
What
did.
month is that?
I have no idea. I just know that I think it exists.
May? Cinco de Mayo.
It's probably sometime around September, like in the fall or something like that. But dude, like I had no idea that existed.
You're Mexican.
Yeah, right. I had no idea that was a thing. Next thing I know, like all over school, like all over the college, like this, like the buildings on the billboards, like, oh, celebrate Mexican History Month, and I'm like, wow, that's a thing. That's new.
What is the point of all these heritage months?
It's to me, it's preaching segregation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's well, like they're masking it though. It's masked segregation.
It's masked.
Oh, you only get a month. But that's it. It's like,
well,
oh, sweet, we got a whole month
not
to
just
ourselves.
a month and a fucking parade.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow, we got all that to ourselves? No effing way. Gee whiz, thanks.
It's
and then the month afterwards, you expect to shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah, because no one cares now. Your month's over. Like, that's why I laugh at Black History Month, because you got 28 days. Fucking shortest month of the year.
Yeah, right.
And they can
shortest month of the year.
And they give you the same black people over. Now, how many times do I need to know that Martin Luther King said, like, I have a dream?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then now it's to the point where, you know, who pays homage to, you know, the fallen civil rights leaders? You get fucking Wendy Williams. You get Oprah Winfrey, who has made a living off of ass kissing and playing to the upper class.
Mm-hmm.
And now she wants to do Black History Month. She wants to do The Butler. And she's like, well, I'm trying to reinstate black cinema. So with your clout, you don't say we need more ethnic detectives. We need more ethnic quality horror movies, more Mexicans in the movie, more Hispanics, more, you know, mix the batch up. She says, no, we need more like black movies. Let's take it back to the civil rights days.
What?
You know, like, and I'm in school trying to get a degree, and you're sitting on top of $1 billion for thinking like what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't make sense to me.
Integrity is never rewarded, and it's looked down upon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it should be backwards, but you know, it's what we live in.
I don't know. I look at it as what it is. It's the time that you live in, per se.
Mm-hmm.
But what are we gonna do?
Can't
I'm not saying agree with it. You don't have to sit there like bend over and be like, "Oh, I'll take it." Like, you know, you could just kind of
I do agree with it, because the same thing, dude. Like, the only thing I know is that like the only History Month that is heavily advertised is Black History Month. Like I said, I had no idea that there like a Mexican History Month existed. There's probably an Asian History Month out there somewhere.
It is Asian History Month.
When?
It is. There's Polish History Month. They have, you know, it's just the fact that history is kind of like structured on a ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Whose is more important, which is fucked up.
Right.
Because everybody's like, it's all existence. At the end of the day,
it's existence.
History is literally the practice of following existence through its stages. So when you do something or whatnot, like when you fucking sit here and you say like, well, Scott plugged in the Xbox a specific way because that outlet didn't work. Scott created the 3-prong.
Mm-hmm.
Now, shouldn't that just be electric history?
Yeah.
Now, granted, because of social standards and superiority and, you know, social beliefs, that'll probably be Asian Electric History Month.
Yeah.
Where Bill Gates would just be electric history. That's why I don't agree with, you know, like with any studio that practices, and I don't want to get too much with that because we could do another show on that, stigmatizing a film with whatever ethnicity is the primary cast. It's a Hispanic love story.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to say it's a Latin love story, fine. But it's still just a romance.
Right.
You know, don't fucking...
You just say it's a romance.
never, like,
it's a
go
love
to the
story.
movies and say, I'm going to see a white horror movie.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, like, because then you're like, you know, it sounds wrong. You know, so why do I go, well...
Oh, it's a black horror movie.
It's a black horror. Oh, no. But because those have stigmatization, sadly. Because when you, like... You're stigmatized when you see a black horror movie. They're all terrible. I have not seen, except Eve's Bayou. Eve's Bayou is not a horror movie. It's with Samuel L. Jackson, older, from the early to mid 1990s. But the thing is just that it's still a quality film that's borderline horror. So when you say Eve's Bayou, it's got that creepy tone. Like, okay, that's a gem. Candyman is a fucking gem. But you know, if I'm in Target and I'm in the mood to be scared, and House at the End of the Block starring Amorion with, you know, LaKeisha. I'm like, no, this is not going to be scary. Oh my God. bust on that ghost. Bust on him. No, like, you sitting at home like, what?
I'm offended by this movie.
Right. Like, girl, I will be scared, but I got to pick up my welfare checks. Like, oh, dear.
Come back. It wasn't there.
I don't know, man. Like, so yeah, do you guys want to wrap this one up?
I think we can.
Yeah.
Put a bow on it.
Ooh. Yeah, so that's first episode of Urban Noir. We hope you're offended.
Indeed.
I'm Harvey.
I'm Johnny.
I'm Mike.
I'm David.
And there's Scott, so see you later.
UrbanNoir Podcast.